Hello, hello, welcome everyone. Let's give me a second to settle down and perhaps shut down the lights from behind my back so that they won't be casting all sorts of shadows on my desk. Just a moment. Things are starting to look good. Hi, Jenny. Welcome. Thank you so much for purchasing the kit and for supporting me by sharing this live. You're such a sweetheart. So, hey, Pakati, a fellow Finn has walked into my craft room. How exciting! Today I'm going to be playing with my newest kit. Hey Frida, welcome. Or hello. No, that sounded more Swedish than German. I'm not going to try again. But welcome. Hi, Hen. I think I'm getting gingerated. People are coming over from Pam's live. She is the ginger cat lady here on YouTube. If you are not familiar with her yet, she also makes super beautiful things. Recently, she has been working on some journals with the little golden books. So, yeah. Hello, Shek. Welcome. So, my new kit. As you can see, I have pretty much scattered it all over my desk. It's called Cozy Autumn Mix. Hold on, I will post my Linktree link. That's the only link I've got for this live. That's because my usual phone is the one I'm filming with, and the one that I'm watching the comments and everything on is an ancient version. So whenever I close YouTube to grab a link, it closes everything up. It doesn't have enough RAM or whatever. I'm not too techy. But anyway, it closes everything down. So I try to avoid leaving YouTube altogether while I'm live. So yep, that's the case. But I did post the links down below the video in the description. This kit is available in A4 and letter size, so wherever in the world you might be, whatever kind of paper you are used to using, I've got something for you. So, yeah. And also, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Happy to see you here. I do all sorts of papery things. I do card making, like my name says, but also journals, ATCs, which are artist trading cards. I dabble a little bit in everything, I would say. So you will never know what's going to happen once you come in. And hello, Pam. I just mentioned your name before you came in. That's Pam, the ginger cat lady. I'm reaching over my shoulder. Oops, not that one. I'm trying to find some sort of a washi that would match the kit that I'm working with. and I know I have something that does, but another question is, where is it? So, but yeah, I'm trying to learn from my past mistakes, which is building up the journal before I have decorated it. Because even though at this point I've made quite a few journals already, I keep on bumping into the same same problem every time, and that is that my journals become much bulkier than I anticipated. Thank you so much, Pam. I appreciate that. So this time I'm taking a little bit of a different approach, which is I'm building the signatures, which you can see here. I made 3 signatures and they have 5 folded pages each. That way, when I'm done decorating, I can actually measure this to figure out how big of a spine I need. Because it's the same thing for me every time. I'm thinking, okay, I'm going to need like a 4-inch spine. And then I look at how wide 4 inches is. Like, let's see, that much. It's about 10 centimeters. It's as big as a greeting card, basically. So, or as wide. So I'm like, oh no, I'm not going to need that much. I will make myself like 2.5-inch spine, which is about 7 centimeters, I would say. But then what do you know? It becomes too small. Another thing I'm doing differently this time around is because I wanted to do a flip through of the kit, I only printed them single-sided. Usually I would maybe put them back into my printer and print them double-sided, or I could just print another version double-sided and use these for something else. But this time around I thought it would be actually nice to use my creativity to cover them a little bit more. So that's the plan. I hope you like it. Hey Flo! Welcome, welcome! Okay. Yes, Pam is being really busy. She is the best moderator ever that's worked on my channel, and I can say this in all fairness because she's also the first one. But even if she wasn't, she would still be awesome. Thank you, Pam. Yes, exactly, Jenny. We have been gingeraded. But let's get working. I have cut some of the pieces out already. I still have plenty to cut. Plus, I'm working on some freebies. So there's more to come on that section too. Another thing about these is that I wanted to make the signature, well, exactly a greeting card size, which is A5 around here, so about the same as an A2 card in US. But my prints were a bit too small for that, so some of my pages have this white border. We will see what we can do about those as well. Okay, let's get started, shall we? Is that anything like the Terminator? Yeah, that sounds like me, but I'm not sure what you're talking about. Okay, so let's start with a super simple way, like the simplest version ever, to cover one of the blank pages. I'm just going to take, let's say, that piece. And I'm going to make myself what's it called? A matting layer, basically, in a card making style. So I'm simply cutting a piece that is about, or that is 5 millimeters, which is about, hold on, let me check if I have enough on this. No, I have to do it this way. Anyway, about 1/4 of an inch smaller than my signatures. I'm going to have all sorts of fun scraps left from this once I'm done, which is always fun. Yeah, my printer, I mean, my trimmer is still hating on these thinner pages. Let's see. I need to make this 10 centimeters, which is 4 inches. There we go. So this is probably the simplest way to cover a white page, right? You just literally take a piece of paper and glue it on top. But before I do that, I think, where's my vintage photo? There it is. I'm going to do some inking. Hi, Bonnie. Oh, I'm glad you came to say hi. I hope you will have a fabulous day at work. Very kind of you to stop by. There, let's see. I'll just do some really free-handed light inking so that it's not quite as white. Obviously, there's still going to be some white showing. I think I'll do the same for this. Have I missed anybody or any questions? I'm just... Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, thank you. Oh yeah, I think being ginger rated is very much like Terminator style. There's no going or getting away from it. Once it happens, you're done. But yes, I appreciate people coming over from Pam's side of the world to my little crafty nook in here. I have not been crafting since day before yesterday, and my, well, it hasn't been that long, but my glue bottle was already closed shut thanks to the glue. But it's okay, I got it to work. There we go. I'll just do that. Should I perhaps take a huge risk, because I have not done it before, and zoom you in a little bit? So because like I said, this was a little bit smaller than my page would be, but I didn't want to have white border on both edges. I had to cut it a little bit smaller, so that's why I don't really have a border in here where the fold is, but that's just how it is. Anyway, second option would be doing some sort of let me take a few of these smaller pieces that I've got in here from when I cut the papers. I'm just going to make a really quick collage or a masterboard type of a solution, which means I'll layer some papers on top of my white page. So nothing too fancy. Definitely a good way to use these scraps that I have left when I cut my papers. Some of the papers in the kit are meant to be the certain certain way. No, I'm not using the Line Co glue flow. I'm using a bookbinding glue from a brand called Lana. No, Dana. Yeah, Dana, not Lena. Dana or Lana. Dana. I will type it down because I know I confused myself. DANA. It's the bookbinding glue. I don't have the. Actually, I think I do. Hold on. It's a Norwegian brand. It's BVAC, I think. There we go. That's what I'm using. Probably not available in the States, but there it is. It's quite affordable compared to many other brands. So that's what I have in my tiny little bottle right now. Hey, Amy, welcome, welcome. So let's just, I know where my fold is. I don't want to go over that necessarily. Hold on, let me check if I can just zoom you in a little bit before. I will also move this down a little bit. I think it would be nicer for everyone if you can actually see what I'm doing. Is that too close or is it fine for all of you? Let me know. I will zoom you back out if the previous way of doing things was better. But I think somehow I think this would be more pleasant for people to watch. Because after all, this is like card base size. Okay, it's perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Amy. Let's see. I don't need a big scrap of this. I'm just going to, because I have a fold there, I'm just going to trim that fold off. And then, because what I'm thinking about doing is maybe putting this on top of here. It's going to be like a quilt, basically. Let's see, where did I put the other piece from this? Here. Because you will probably only see that part. And I don't really like it. I just need the tiniest little scrap, really. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a tiny scrap for myself. It's probably focusing the camera, I mean, on the handle right now, but just a moment and I will get this done. There we go. Am I still? Now that it's closer, I keep on getting paranoid about whether I'm in the screen. So if I go over, please tell me. I would love to know. There we go. Just like a couple of tiny scraps. That's actually even the perfect length for the page. Now I need the pumpkin. I think I'll actually do that. Yep. Then I'll trim that part off. And I know the height of my page, but I think I'll actually make it a little bit shorter. I want the pumpkin to show. I'm thinking that much. Just guesstimating here. It doesn't have to be like fancy measuring or anything like that. Bye, Hen. Thanks for stopping by for a bit. I think this time around I'm only going to cover up these two pages. I mean, this is already 2 ideas. Let's not get too greedy, right? But you could also stencil on the pages, especially if you want to make a writing journal, like a journal that you actually write on. And you want to leave room for that. Some light stenciling would be fabulous. You could take some coffee dyed paper and maybe tear a piece of it and cover a page with that. I think what I'm going to do, because this looks like a quilt to me, so, and it has the stitching thing going on, I think I'm going to add some hand stitching here, like faux stitching, obviously. You could stamp on the white pages. You could just leave it white if you want to, just add your pockets and decorate. Oh my goodness, I can talk. Decorations, if that's what you like. You can do a number of things. I'm using a black pencil. Obviously, you could use something else too, like white, or I think gold would be fun. I think actually stitching this with like sewing machine or something would look absolutely magnificent. I don't know why my words are so tangled today. And I know I haven't been looking at my comments for a bit. Have I missed anything? Yeah, Flo, that's obviously because she is my grandma. uh, I actually don't know the story, what happened between Casey and Amy, but there's a crafter called Casey that I think most people in this room have heard of. And one day he accidentally adopted me. He was trying to type "Oh my Salah" after I said something, and he just said "my Salah," and I was like, "Ooh, did I finally get adopted?" I do have parents, by the way, but still, um, it sounded like he was claiming me, so I was like, I think I just got adopted. So now he is my dad. And later on that day, I heard that I now also have a grandma. So I'm not sure what happened there, but we are actually having a little bit of a family reunion once again with my grandma. It's funny. So let's see. You could fussy get that out. But for now, I think I'll just set these tiny scraps aside and start working on this. I think I didn't really think about the order of these. Honestly, I don't think it matters. I can always decide it later. I'll just start working on this. So, first page. What do I want to make or do with this? I think I need to take... Yeah, well, the joke is that Casey is actually my age, so I think we're about the same age. So my dad is same age as I am in this story. So there we go. What do I want to do? I think I'll actually start by... These are meant to be journal cards, but I thought they would also be great for card making. At least some of them. Because you can use them as a base for a small collage or something like that. I think I want to use the... Oh my goodness, I can't even remember the colors right now. The yellow one. They're a bit too muddy for this page because the page already has a lot of brown and so on. So I think I'll use this one for this page. I don't need that. I have the butterflies here. That would be so pretty. Hey Lana, welcome, welcome. Let's see. Green one would be great. Maybe with a butterfly. I don't know, a couple of mushrooms. That would probably tie the whole kit in one page. Pretty much. I think that would be fun. I could always add like small embellishment or something like that here. I'm still just playing. I have not made any decisions yet. I could add a word on the bottom of the page if I wanted to. Oh, the possibilities are just endless, aren't they? Let's see. Where are my words? There they are. How about a grateful heart? Would that be nice? It's funny, I hang out in Pam's lives quite a bit, although she today said that I haven't been hanging out there as much as I should. But I was like, I have to. But yeah. So we have been talking. I lost my train of thought. I have no clue what I was about to say. Can you tell I'm tired? I'm not quite sure what it is. I think it's my low ferritin that is giving me some trouble right now. I'm taking iron, but obviously it will take a while for it to kick in. Oh, yeah, now I remember. Because some people hate mushrooms, some people hate pumpkins, some people hate gnomes. And at least I couldn't include any gnomes on this kit, unfortunately, but I was able to at least get the pumpkins and mushrooms in there. Because we've been talking about the fact that some people just love using mushrooms in their autumn journals and so on, and some people absolutely hate them. Same goes with pumpkins, obviously. Well, I guess we all have our favorites and not so favorites. Oh yeah, mushroom gnomes would have been a great choice actually. Maybe I will make a mushroom gnome freebie at some point just to honor Dai. Dai is the messy palette AU. I think she already went to bed, so she is not hanging out with us right now. But yeah, I think I will just make a decision with my placement like this is how it's going to be, and just stick everything down before I change my mind about making that decision. Let me press that. Oh, Flo finally found her manners. How nice. Evil giggles. There we go. I think it's nice there. Oh, thank you, Anne-Marit. I still feel like I'm saying your name the wrong way. I say it too much like a Finn, I guess. Although I think the Nordic people pronounce many things kind of in the same way, but not like super similarly. There we go. I think it's on Marit. Now I'm just guessing. I did see the message or the voice recording where Anne-Marit told how her name was said, but I feel like I'm saying it wrong. I think now I'm maybe saying it in a better way. Well, in Finnish it would be Anne-Marit, which probably still is closer to the truth than the English version, but not quite. Okay, Flo. I will forgive you when you ask that nicely with huge caps and everything. Okay, awesome. I will say it in Finnish. Good. Okay. Do I want that? Do I want this? Do I want something else? Do I want autumn? I think this would be cute too. Actually, I think I'll go with that one. No, it doesn't suit. That's upside down. Yeah. And no, I did not have any coffee before I came here. I'm just really tired today. Obviously, I still wanted to come online. It's not that. I'm just flicking through my pages because I know that I have more of the words and such in here. I think that's pretty much the only page I could use. Harvest time. I think harvest time would work with the mushrooms and the pumpkin. Depends who you ask. Some people say that mushrooms never work. But there we go. For somebody watching a replay or who is not watching this chat, Frida is saying that she was far away. When her son came home, he made her listen to Stained and to crying emojis. I'm sorry for all the trauma. I hope you will survive. Oh, the things that our kids make us do. Like, I'm not sure if anyone in here has the same age children as I do, but I'm sure we have people who hang out in TikTok and so on. But has anyone heard of Labubus? Labubus. Is that a familiar thing to anybody? in here. Yeah, harvest time it is. That's what I'm going with, but I need to back it with something. So, some dancing fingers while I think. I do have these here. Yes, the Labubus. They cost like 75 or 70 euros per one toy, basically. Um, it's just insane, and it has become a trend, and that is all my daughter is talking about. They are like, they're not even that big. They're something that you can hang to your belt or bag or whatever. It's a stuffed animal like a monster, and it costs a lot, like a lot. So I had to tell her, honey, unfortunately, we cannot spend 70 euros, which is about, I would say, $75, just for comparison, um, on a toy. That's just, I'm sorry, but that's not our, I mean, that doesn't go very well with our budget. Um, and I was just, it's crazy how much they cost. And I know there are people waiting for hours to get them. And obviously, yes, there are Shane and Timu and other places like that that already sell them for 5 euros, but that is completely against my ethics. I'm not going to buy a fraud version just because I can't afford the original one. Plus, there are the toxins and everything else I'm worried about that might come with them. Plus, they were probably made in, with child labor, so I don't want to buy my daughter something that was probably made by children. Um, so yeah, for now we're not getting lavabos, but what I thought I might do is make my own version, like a felt lavabo. I think she might like that. She's still in the age where she doesn't get embarrassed if her mom makes her stuff. I know we will get there eventually, but not quite yet. Let's see. I have been chatting. Yeah, it's just horrible, horrible. Hi, Lynn. Welcome. I had to think for a second because. And yes, Kati. Yes, Kati. They do cost 70 euros. The original ones. Like I said, they're fake ones, but yes, that's how expensive they are. Yes, Lynn, I think it's a similar trend, but I don't think those things cost nearly as much as these things do. It's purely insane. And obviously I get there is the social pressure that the kids are going through, like if you want to be one of the group, you have to have this thing. But the times are hard. How many families actually can afford to put 70 euros or 75 bucks for a toy, especially outside the Christmas season? I mean, our budget for our kids, yeah, on in the Christmas time is 50 euros per a kid. So Even if that was the only toy the whole Christmas that I would get my daughter, I still wouldn't be able to get it. I just feel like there are so many other things I can spend the money on that will probably make her a lot happier than a Labubu ever would. Bye, Frida. Oh no. I hope the appointment goes well, though. Let's see. I tried to fussy cut things out so that I don't have to fussy cut on camera, but apparently that's what I'm going to do. Let's see. This one needs some ink. I think I'll be on for 3/3.5 hours today. Um, my family is coming home around 8:45 my time. It's 5:45 right now, so I've still got plenty of time. I can go on for almost 3 hours still if I want to. um, like I was saying earlier, I know there are other people who are going live right now, but sadly, with my live, I can't do lives whenever my kids are at home. It's just not possible because, first, they are really curious, and if I tell them they can't come here, the first thing you will see is their face facing up to the camera and them laying on my desk or something like that. Um, so yeah, they're quite rascals, or they feel the need to come ask all sorts of things from me whenever I'm filming, or you will just hear a lot of background noise. And I know many people don't mind, but for me, it's not something I want to do. Simply because I do mind. I don't want to make anyone else listen to that because yeah, it can be a lot for me too. Everything on this page is like awfully centered, which bothers me a lot or a bit, but it's okay, I guess. That's the first page. Um if you're a card maker, this is basically a card sketch. You might make the original piece, this one with um, green and brown, a little bit smaller to leave a bit of a frame around it. Leave some of the card base showing, maybe add additional layer to or behind this piece, and maybe even behind the yellow piece. But this could also be used as a greeting card. So, like I often say, it's card making and junk journaling are not completely separate hobbies. I did a few layers on the bread there. It says harvest time. There we go. Oh yeah, of course, Kari. I can always translate. Oh, thank you, Anna-Marit. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Yes, this is definitely rare for me because whenever my kids go to their grandma, I'm usually hanging out with my partner. But tonight there is, and actually also tomorrow, there is this micro brewery thing on the nearby town where he wanted to go to. So that's why I have this really rare opportunity to just sit here and craft. And obviously hang out with all of my coolest friends, which is you, in case I actually have to say that. Now I'm just flattering everybody. And yes, like Flo says, thanks for joining, Kati. Um, we all, or not all of us, but some of us speak different languages. You know, some even speak Australian that I just figured out that I just can't understand at all. Yes, yes, you actually, Flo, you're my only friends. So there we go. Just to make it sound even worse for myself. Um, I'm thinking I might want to put some pockets down next. The pockets that I included in the kit are quite small. I know many people enjoy using small pockets in bigger journals as well. There are a couple of them that are on a bigger scale, but they're still quite small. Obviously, you can always do your own pockets if you want to. But whenever I make journals, I tend to do the smaller versions. It's just more my style. And I also think that the smaller scale things work better for card makers and so on. So I don't know. Some people might find these too small, but for me, it's just perfect. But I'm thinking, because like I said, I want to release at least a freebie, probably a couple of freebies actually, this autumn. I'm already working on my first one. So I might put in some bigger pockets for those, because I won't release the freebies. I'm actually going to make this a little bit smaller. I won't release the freebies as in releasing part of this kit. No, I'm going to make completely separate things, just to make things a little bit harder for myself. And also, I feel like it wouldn't be right. People pay for this kit, and then I would be out there giving it for free. I know most people really wouldn't mind, but still. Hey, Carrie. Yes, exactly. Everywhere. Right now, I'm at least in um, South Africa, I think, and somewhere else in Finland, and US in a couple of different states at least. So apparently, yes, flattery does get me everywhere. Okay. The pockets are very much like, I did mention this in the flip through video that I did and posted yesterday when I posted the kit. But these have the jelly printed feel to me, at least. I think these would be great to use with some self-made jelly printed pages as well. Right, Flo? You know, we just worry about her. Oh, the things you see when you hang out on the internet. Never know what's going to happen. I want something that matches the page, or with the page, a little bit better than this one does. I guess it still goes. It has the same blue and so on, but I know I have a lot of options, and I think I'm thinking something with more of this brown red on it. I think this would be perfect. Let's try it out. Yeah, I think I'll go with that one. This one is nice too, but you know. And now that I put the yellow pocket on here, I kind of want to carry it to that page as well. Although, that being said, I feel like this whole thing needs something a little bit more fresh. So that's why I'm going with that. Luckily, I have a lot. I think I included five different pages of different pockets on the kit. So there's a lot to choose from, definitely. I could, of course, also stack them a little bit. I think that would be fun. Because I have 2 pockets here, I could add 2 pockets there. I think I'll do that. Who speaks English better? I don't know. If you are talking about me, I struggle a lot sometimes. Oh, thank you, Carrie. I appreciate that. So, it sounds like I'm well presented in, or well represented in California right now, with both Carrie and Pumping in there. Yes, the Australian way to say a car show is saying a cow pool. So, yeah. We're just. If you are coming here for the first time, I'm sincerely so sorry, but please leave a thumbs up on your way out. I'm begging you. And even if you are planning on staying, because you're one of the loonies as well, please leave me a thumbs up. That would be much appreciated. Let's see. Whenever I'm live and I'm reading the comments, my eyes kind of pop up and down and up and down, and I'm sorry if I miss some comments. Let me know if I miss a question. Please ask again. I know it's horrible. I know it's really unpolite to miss stuff that people ask me, but I also know pretty much anyone who's ever been live know how it can be. So there we go. Let's glue that down there. I'm just laying stuff down right now. This is not the time or the place to worry about the decoration or anything like that. I'm just making myself some cool pockets and hoping, or kind of like trusting the process and trusting myself to find solutions for all of this madness. Now, the journal cards are a bit small, a bit big for the smaller pockets, but they are great for the bigger ones. I also have the dancing fingers once again. I also have the long bookmark kind of things, so I think I'll put one there. I could also put one on this page. I know not everyone wants to put something that long into a pocket like that. Actually, let's do that. I'll just simply fold it in half. Now I kind of have like hidden writing space, if that's what you want to use it for. You could even punch a hole in there. The way I designed it, it doesn't really need even punching the hole. I added some faux thread in there or something. I don't know what to describe it. But there we go. Now we have a cute small tag. On this page, I think I will leave it longer. I think this one suits the color scheme a little bit better. Or actually, maybe this is too matchy because there's too much green. So I think I'll just add this one. I might strengthen those up a little bit, especially this one. But for now, I'll leave it like that. Hey, Esther. Welcome, welcome. Oh my goodness, I've been missing so much. Look, I look down for 1 minute and dangle with my own things here, like nobody's business. Yes, like and subscribe, please. Thank you, Pam. Yeah, and later on when our friend Dai said, what was it? A cup of, as in a cup of tea or coffee or whatever, a cup of. I was like, a cupboard? I was like, why is he having a cupboard? Because she was talking about her husband having a cup of me. So I don't know. It just, I know, and I was telling people, well, later on you will have some pockets with your couple because I have struggled my fair share as well. So, what do I want to do with the second pocket on this page? I'm rummaging through the things I have on my desk because I have some recycled clothes tags and things like that. I'm thinking I could use something like that sorts. Yep, I think these with some brown. This is a piece of, come on. I want to say jewelry, but you don't eat that. Like Rice Krispies and cereal. Yes, this is a piece of cereal package. And it's brown on the inside, so I think that's kind of like perfect. I don't usually struggle this much, but like I said earlier, I'm really tired, so that's probably the reason why all of this mayhem is happening. Oops, it moved. Come on, there we go. I straightened it, I think 4 inches, which is about 10 centimeters, should be fine. If it's not, I can always trim some more of this or of the pieces. Is it too tall? We'll find out. There we go. No, it's actually perfect. It fits in there. And now I just have to put something on that side so that it doesn't look like a piece of a cereal box. I think I could do some collaging in here as well, but also I have tons of papers that I have not been using from this kit yet. Yes, I think everyone needs a cup of coffee at this point. Thanks for hanging out with us, Carrie. See you later. She's such a sweetheart. She also has her own channel um, called So Much Glitter. So as in SEW, if you're not seeing her name on the chat, like if you are watching a replay or something like that, I want to think about everyone. But yeah, she has her own channel and she is such a lovely person. I've been on some design teams with her, so I know her a little bit, and she is also a regular face at Bitty Benny's, who is another crafter on YouTube. So many cool people, and I have the pleasure of knowing so many of them. Hmm. Do I want more brown or more green? I think I will go with this brown side simply because there's a lot of green on the page already, and I think this is going to look like a quilt, you know, the whole journal, and hopefully in a nice way and not in a bad way, as in my kid just threw up on a journal, and that's it. I hope that's not how it's going to look. But yeah, um, I'm imagining a cozy quilt whenever I'm imagining the end result. Oh yeah, Annemarit, that has been going on a lot. I don't know what's up with YouTube these days, but I sometimes I have to write the same message like 3 times before I I mean it goes through because I just get the internal error code message. So I don't know what's up with that. But it's annoying. It should stop. Like, stop already. So there we go. I think there's some glue oozing somewhere. I don't know. I'll try to trim it a little bit. Not sure how it goes. Thank you so much, Bam. She's awesome. Hi, Cheryl. Welcome, welcome. Um, let's put this one in here to see if it still fits. It does, if the shoe fits. Yeah. It looks a bit busy, I think. Not sure if it looks busy in a good way or not. This, the jury is still out on that. I think I'll back this with something and think about my next move while I'll do that. I'm just taking a piece of coffee dyed paper. Of course, it doesn't fit that way. Like, that would be way too convenient, wouldn't it? No, I have to use that wider part there. Once I didn't have the energy to write again, so I said it in English on Messenger to Bam. Yeah, exactly. It's annoying. At some point when it was really bad, like happened every for messages or so, I actually was copying each message before I sent it. That way I could just paste it again and get it done. But sometimes you're not expecting it to happen, or you just couldn't remember to copy the message before trying to send it. Overcritical. Flo is saying I'm being overcritical. That doesn't sound like me at all. Yeah, exactly. If somebody wants to make a less busy journal, they can. My journals are usually quite decorated. That's because I'm actually not a journaler. I enjoy the crafting part of this, but I don't journal so much. I know some people would also say that's the wrong kind of journaling, like that's just TikTok ruining the journaling or chunk journaling or whatever. Yes, I've seen those videos. But I think people often journal because it's a form of therapy for them. And for me, this crafting process is the therapy. So I don't write, but I still get the same side effects, so to speak. So yep, that's the page. I think I just said it's too busy or it could be too busy, and now I'm thinking about adding some decoration on it. It makes sense. But I think the pockets, although I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what I will do. I'm kind of like interrupting myself and my train of thought here. Um, but yeah, we'll see if I will add anything extra or if I won't. I can always go through my options and try it out, because great thing about journaling is, or not journaling but crafting, paper crafting altogether, is you don't have to glue it down unless you decide that you want to commit to it and go with it. Sometimes we are our own worst enemies and we just can't commit to anything. That's when it's best just to glue something down and get started, like the pockets, for example. But also you can like see how something looks and then decide if you want to add it or not. There we go. Now it's backed. It's a little bit sturdier, which I like. That also helps if you are a channeler. Your pens won't leak through when you write on it. So that's always good. Let's see. Yeah, preach, preach. Oh, I preach without even being told to preach. Yeah, these are actually just Fiskars scissors. They are super old. I think I got these back in 2011 when I went to the artisan school, and I've also got the smaller version. And let me tell you, I have not been gentle with these scissors, yet they have never been sharpened. So that's some good quality right there. I could add just like a small word in there. This is too big, I think, unless I want to cut the banner parts off, which I'm not ready to do right now. I think it would look good there too. You could add a cup of coffee, or let's see what else I have. Maybe a pumpkin over there. I feel like the smaller pockets are often busy enough so that you don't have to add tons of things on them. But I mean, you definitely could. I feel sad that I didn't include any cupcakes or something like that in here. I think it would have been like a great addition. I think I'll just put one of these. I included, I think, 8 of these labels because I think they're cute. Maybe even more. I think at least 8 in a little bit different colors. Hey, Yura. Welcome, welcome. Grab a seat. Grab a cup of coffee or whatever you like to drink. And don't forget the thumbs up. Never forget the thumbs up. It's when I started my YouTube channel, it made me super uncomfortable to ask for likes. But afterwards, I started thinking about it. Well, first of all, whenever you like or leave a comment for a video, it helps the channel to grow. But I tend to forget to do that, especially before I started really thinking about it. I'll just glue this on. I don't think it needs anything behind it. Especially before I really started thinking about it, I tend to forget to leave the thumbs up. Like if I was joining a live or something like that, I just didn't remember to do it. And I didn't do it because I was being mean or anything like that. I simply just didn't think about it. So I felt like it was useful when somebody was reminding me of it. So that's why I do it. And obviously, yes, I want my channel to grow. Thank you. So there's the selfish aspect in all this, of course, as well, but it's just a kind reminder. If you don't like the video, obviously don't give it a thumbs up. It's entirely up to you. Disclaimer. There we go. I'll just put these here. I think that looks cozy. Very Canadian, I think. Aw. Yeah, exactly, Flo. You can only have it once. I've done that before though. I've went to a live and or been watching a video and I've liked it, and then later on I went to do it again and realized I just clicked my own like or something like that off. So of course you can take it off and click subscribed or like again, but there's no much sense in all that. Do I want a squirrel? Yes, it's a really hard word for me. A squirrel. Squirrel? Well, I could keep trying for the rest of my life and never get it right, but I think these are too close in color, so probably not a great match. I have some other things here as well. I don't think a drink is the best possible option. So far, I have not seen a squirrel enjoying a cup of, no, a cuppa. I can't remember how I said it. But yeah, so I'm not going to add any hot drinks on this little fellow. But I think I'll put... That's a huge acorn. It won't work. This is a bit smaller, but I think it's still too big. Do you have anything even just a tiny bit smaller? There's this. Does it look like... No, I'm even not going to go there. I know, you people, that you know what I was thinking about when I laid that here, but let's not go there. Second one was correct. Squirrel. Squirrel? I don't know. Aw. Apparently squirrels like cold drinks. They have sensitive teeth. Okay. But probably not coffee with Baileys like a certain someone's cat. Yeah. That's probably not good for them either. There's a certain scribble. No, bam, that just made it worse. Thank you. Thanks, though. Squirrel? Squirrel? I don't know. Maybe it's better if we don't learn how to pronounce critter names on my channel. I'm sure there is a channel out there who helps you learn to say squirrel, but... or teach you how to say squirrel. But this is not the place. Okay, let's put him, or... I think it's a he. For some reason, I'm getting a he vibe. I think he is going to bring some lovely berries and acorns to his missus. I'll just put this here so that he can eat something. I mean, I don't want him to chew on my pockets or something like that. So better give him something to eat or to take home for his wife. There we go. That's it. I think that's enough decoration for one page. What do you kind people think? And if you hate it, please don't tell me. My heart can take it. Okay, I'm getting some sort of a weird announcement on my phone once again. So that's it. Thank you, thank you. Huh. Rhymes with girl. Squirrel. We have to stop meeting like this, Pam. Earl. Yes, I can kind of say Earl or Earl. Every word with the R on it is a bit challenging for me. That's because we pronounce... Oh, squirrel. Look what I found. There's a tiny acorn. I knew I had one here. I have to put that on, sorry. But yeah, we say the R, letter R, really differently. When I'm talking English, it's supposed to be like really soft and roll out of my tongue. Yeah. Then there's the Finnish version. And it's like arran kierrän ympäri orren. I'm sorry if I just gave you some trauma. That wasn't my intention. But it's just it sounds really different. Oh yeah, Riikka Kovasin, I think. I think that's who you're talking about. Um, she's a really talented mixed media artist and also really nice. But thank you. I think the Finnish people in general are too hard on themselves when it comes to speaking English. I think it's because in school um, they tell us to pay a lot of attention to how to be grammarly precise or how to form sen- sentences the right way. So we get too attached to that, which is probably not usually cool. There's like this small little fly flying on my desk. I'm not loving that. Let me take a sip of my drink and see how you guys are doing over on the chat. Yes, that's my water bottle. It's making a horrible sound. Okay. Oh, yay, Amy. What's a timeout basket? Is it like where you put things that you're using too much and you want to do something different? Or is it one of those, like, I know people have boxes where they put things that they think they might want to purge later on. So they put it aside, put it in the box and set that aside to figure out if they will miss it, and if they won't miss it for a month or so, they will purge it. There we go. Always follow the R. Yes. But I don't want to swallow the R's. They are pointy. Most Americans can't speak any second language. Yeah, I saw a chart of different countries' presidents, like how many languages they can speak. Um, there were like Finnish president, I think he speaks 4 or 5 or even 6 languages. I don't know how many. Yes, I think sarcasm is my first language too, and dad jokes. That's I also speak fluent dad jokes. What do I want to do with this? I think this would be a great belly band. Let's work with that idea. It also goes quite well with the next or that page. I don't know. Maybe a little bit. There's the same green that goes through the kit. I think I want I think I want a border for this, and I think I want the border to be what's it called? Yellow. Just a moment, I will check where my yellow paper is because I know I included some in the kit. If you're new here, there it is. That was fast. If you're new here, I'm working with my new kit. It's a printable and it's called Cozy Autumn Mix. It's available in my coffee shop, and like the name says, it's not perfectly cohesive. It includes different styles for different occasions. There we go. Oh my goodness. My printer did not handle that well. Let's take, well, I don't know if it matters. We can always crunch it up a little bit more. Oh, thank you, Lana. Thanks for stopping by and enjoy the dinner. I don't care what people say. I think eating is super fun also. Let's see. I have, let's count. It's always a hard thing to do, but I know I can do it. I have about 2 hours more to be here. So we still have a long way to go. And thank you, Pam. You're so kind. It's if you don't want to go shopping in the middle of the live, the links are down in the description box for you, so that you can always go check it out after the live is done. Did I get this like extremely? No, I think it's my original piece here. That's being the problem. The problem child. Okay, I'll just snip that off. And I think I'll glue this piece on that one before I do anything about the edges or such. Yeah, I think that's going to be a good border. I wonder if I can still count to 10 in Spanish. I used to study it a little bit, mostly through Duolingo, but it's been a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, I can. Probably did not pronounce any of that right, but technically I can. I love different languages. And if I wasn't a crafter, I could probably do something useful with my life, which is something like learning languages or so. So, yep. I'm not even taking the blade off my scissors. I'm just taking the side and making it messy, basically. I just want to make it a little bit more like crunchy. There we go. Then I'll take some ink and use that to do the rest of the trick. Okay, good enough. That'll do, Big, that'll do. Thanks for hanging out, Shaq. I was glad to have you with us here tonight. Thank you for coming over. Have I missed any questions? Flo's like asking Cheryl, don't I know you? I assume that has something to do with something she said. I can get into trouble. Yep. Um, well, I speak Finnish and English. Those are actually the only two languages that I would say that I know how to speak. Although even that is sometimes a bit questionable. But yeah, hold on. I'm thinking. I'm in the middle of really important thinking process. What do I want to put in here? I actually think that would go really nicely. I think I'll go with that one. Sorry, I have to do so much fussy cutting here. I usually try to avoid that whenever I'm live, but I only published this kit yesterday, and was there 8 pages of fussy cuts? I think there was, and that was simply a little bit too much for me to handle today or yesterday, so there we go. Da, 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 da. So yeah, the languages. When we are in school, we also get taught some Swedish, but I honestly don't know too much Swedish, even though I learned learned it in school. Learned. I think that's the correct. Although I think people say learned quite a lot, but anywho. This needs a little bit of something, and I think it needs a golden touch. So I'm just going to do some more stitching around here with a gel pen, trying to leave some gaps between my stitches, because usually I just do them in a well, too close to each other. It doesn't really matter, but I think it looks a bit better when there's some room between the stitches. Looks more realistic, I think. Although obviously this is not realistic stitching, but you know. But in all honesty, this looks a lot like my hand stitching. Uneven, spaced, not the wrong, not the right way, and you know, all that. So it's quite realistic that way. Then just a few more stitches in here. That's it. For this, I also want to... Hey, Missy Missy. Welcome, welcome. Aw, thanks for joining in, Esther. It was good to see you. Um, Flow, yes, exactly. But I think for the most part, people are quite understanding towards people who are just learning the language, or people who don't speak it as their first language. Like, I honestly haven't had that many critical comments about my English. For the most part, people are really supportive and so on. When I started my channel, it took me a long time to actually get started, because I was afraid that I would be judged by people because I didn't say things correctly or something like that, which is not true at all. I don't say things correctly always, but people mainly still understand what I mean. So I guess it's not as much of a big deal as I thought it would be before I started my channel, I mean. I've seen a lot of people being mad on the internet, like when they travel to a foreign country and they're like, nobody speaks my language in here. And it's not just the Americans. No, not at all. Um, Especially back in the day, like let's go back 30 years when people from Finland would travel somewhere. It would be quite common for them to do the same thing, like just speak really loudly if somebody wouldn't understand them when they were proud and speaking Finnish. So yeah, I think, well, it is what it is. I could add something like that in here. A branch. I should have two of those. Yes, I do. I think that would look nice. But probably the other way around, which is this. Yeah. I will just glue those down, do some inking. Would it actually be nice that way? Yep, that's how I'm going to put them. Thank you, Flo. Flo was calling me so stinking cute. There's still, even though I'm inking the edges, I could take an actual ink blending brush and ink blend this really well so that there wouldn't be any white showing. But I actually quite like it because it brings these two pages together a little bit more. And something I'm trying to tell myself is that white is not a curse word. Like, it's okay if there's some white showing up somewhere. Thank you, Missy. See you later, Cheryl. If you can make it back later on, I'll probably still be here. I'm in this for the long haul. I think that's how we say it. In it for the long haul. Maybe. It's sometimes the sayings that still get me. And of course the ins and ats and ons. Those prepositions, I don't know what they're called. Those really get me sometimes. I have no clue what to use and where. I mean, I kind of know the basics, but I can still say something wrong somewhere. And, but yes, sayings like flying by the seat of your pants, that makes no sense to me at all. I know it means kind of like doing stuff based on your gut feeling or based on how you feel, doing things just because, something like that. But the saying is just so odd. I think I'll put this here. Yep. Center it a little bit. I think that's cute. I really think the touch of gold works super well with all sorts of autumn crafts, not just this page, but altogether. Now I need to put something behind there. I could even make this like a hanging journal card, like so, but then it would cover that. Although it would be a nice surprise, like, peekaboo, here I am. But I think I will do something different. I could use this, but oh my goodness, now there's a big fly bothering me. That's nice too, but how about using the same? I think I'll use the same pattern on that page as well. I think that will look nice. Thanks, Missy. I think it works. That's a bit too small. Let's take another piece of this one helps. Cereal box. Let's take a piece of cereal box and make some sort of a bigger. It can't be too wide either. We'll see. I'm just trying to think here how I should cut this, because obviously I also need to be really frugal about this really fancy material called cereal box. They multiply like Kremlins in our household, but still I don't want to waste anything. I think I'll make it like 4.5 inches, which is 11.5 centimeters. 4.5 by 2.5 maybe. That would be a little bit over 6 centimeters. Maybe a little bit bigger. Even bigger than that. 4.5 by 3 inches, so yes, 7.5 in centimeters. I think that's a good size, and I'm also going to have a little tiny sliver left. Like, look at that, how precious. I'm never going to use it, so I'll just and if I know myself, it won't take long before I go and pick it up, because I need it for something. So that's what I'm going to use. I think it's the correct size for my project here. Yeah, this is actually a cheap brand of those Cocoa Puffs. We tend to have a lot of these modern looking things these days. There are relatively few animals anymore. Like, when I was a kid, I feel like all the cereal they were selling had different sorts of animals or something like that on them. But it doesn't seem to be the case anymore. I think that's because even the shops are trying to help people eat more healthy. So when the cereal box is colorful but doesn't have like a fancy tiger or funny elephant or anything like that on it, it's less likely that the kids beg for chocolate cereal. I could be wrong, but I kind of like sense that's the vibe of these days. They do sell some ape cereal in stores though, or monkey cereal. I actually made my daughter a card just 2 days ago from a box like that. Because she was eating actual food really well or wasn't eating, and I said to her that if she eats like a good girl, I would make her a card, and she did. So I made her a monkey card. I'm just going to ink around the edges because why not? And I don't think I'm going to make or do anything else for this piece. I think that's fancy enough. Or although, that being said, I could bring in the gold for that one too, but I don't think I will do the stitching. Let's do something else. Just getting by and winging it. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think it's a bit more of being on the out of your comfort zone. I'm just going to doodle around the circles because these are not perfect circles for the most part. They are a bit not symmetrical is the correct word. Asymmetrical, I think so, maybe. Anyway, they're not symmetrical, so I think these free-handed doodles work even better with those. I'm doing mostly a double doodle, so I'm drawing 2 circles. I think this works. It brings a little bit more fancy into this piece. And that way I don't have to decorate it. Isn't that smart? Feel like it should be still good, but I feel like it's not running quite as smoothly as it has been in the past. Maybe I was just pressing either too hard or going too fast. One of those two. There we go. Shaky hands is like the perfect tool for making something like this because that makes it less perfect. Yay. Okay. I'm just trying to maybe try it a little bit before I put it into here, but I don't think it really matters. It's dry enough. There we go. Now I could do the same for this page, but I don't think I will go through the trouble right now, at least not before I figure out what I want to do here. I wonder if my circle bunch is far from here, because we could kind of like have a play with different shapes is what I'm thinking. Maybe slap a butterfly on it after that. But I don't know. I'm getting the decision fatigue already, and we are only 4 pages in. I think that one would work well. No. Maybe. Did I try this one already? No. Or, I mean, I don't like that. There's another green, too light. These are too dark, I think. Yeah, I think that's perfect. That way I could write something in there I know I want. That's just, like I said earlier, I'm not much of a journaler, but I'm also here to go on fly. Go your own way, don't stay here. I'm also here to provide some inspiration, some ideas. So even though I'm making a journal basically for myself, might actually sell this, I don't know. Um, because why not? Um, hold on, I'm just getting the bunch, if I can find it somewhere. It's still, it's not too, what's it called? It's not 2 inches actually, it's 1.5, but never mind. I can still provide different ideas because, like I said, I'm in this for the joy of journaling and or joy of, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. For the joy of creating, not so much of making something I could actually use or something like that. I was thinking about bunching one of these fleur de lis out, but I don't think I will because this bunch is a little bit too small for them, I think. Maybe I'll just, why not? Let's take a circle out of this faux slow stitched. Oh my goodness, I forgot. This bunch does not work like it should. Hold on. There we go. Well, I got a circle out, but it's not perfect. It's a little bit rough. It's fine. I also have the 1-inch bunch. Let's see if I can do something with that. I think I need a time ouch. Time ouch. No, that's not what I was trying to say. I think I need a time out basket sometimes for being a complete basket case. I'm flipping through my precious kit here to see what I want to use. I love this page. This is probably one of my favorites from the whole kit. Not sure what I'm going to make with it yet, but I just love it. I want something a bit different, but still with correct colors. I think this one would be good. You won't really see the zigzag, but that's fine. You don't have to see this zigzag. I think I'll just punch another one. There we go. Let's reach that back where it came from and see what we can do here. Is this too close to the... No, I don't think it is. It's fine. But this one is. I need something more green, I think. Let's reach it back out. There we go. That's more green. Let's put that aside. Yeah, I kind of like it, but I also think I need another layer in here. Probably not going to use a circle. I might. Nobody knows. Hey, Debbie. Welcome, welcome. Well, thanks for stopping by, Miss Flo. It was fantastic to have you over. You're such a nice lady. See, they said flattery gets me everywhere, and now I'm apparently going places. There we go. Um, this is quite an old ink blender or ink blending tool. This piece of it is old, so it's starting to get a little bit crumbly, and by that I mean it's scattering small powder, inky powder, all over my desk, which is obviously not a good thing. Yep. I'll just glue things down and make it work later on. Time to commit to things. Which side do I want showing? Maybe that one. There we go. Then the small circle. I'll turn it a little bit because I don't want the white side showing on this one. Oops, I should have thought about this a little bit more. Actually, I need to turn it because right now, if I would have put this it that way, it would be red on red, which does not serve the purpose of things showing up. So I needed to have the white showing after all. It's fine. That happens. Then I think I want that here, but before I glue anything else down, I think I'll take some additional pieces. I think actually that alone would be nice. That one too. Maybe these two get together. That's a bit orange on orange. Not sure if it works. I could add a cup of. I feel like I sound like a chicken whenever I say that. Kappa. There we go. That's good. That's my final answer to this page. So let's glue things down. I think it also needs some ink on the other objects that I put on top. There we go. Let's make sure some of my circle is showing. There we go. That one will be here. Just ink the leaf first. Oops. My ink blending tool just went flying across the desk, or more like rolling. I want to, I want to sing, but sadly I don't have the singing voice, so better if I don't. You know, I got the "They See Me Rolling, They Hating" song stuck in my head now. Ladies, there's plenty of items to show up on your doorstep for both of you. Fine, Jenny got her first, but it also means that she will probably run out of fun things to play with one day before Pam does. There we go. Or not. There we go. I think that's good. Pumpkins, pumpkins. They just make me happy. I don't know why. I don't like the flavor of the pumpkins, but I like the shapes, the colors. They're just fun. We don't really have the culture of using pumpkins in our kitchen. Squash is different. I think is the green long one called the squash. I don't know. Maybe not. I think that's a whole another pumpkin. But yeah, I can't remember what it's called. Anywho, that's my. How many have I done? Fifth, five. I've met five. This is my fifth. Fifth page. There you go. I think it needs some gold too. So let's take my gold pencil and make this all fancy. There we go. I'm just lightly following the veins on the leaf. Sorry. Not too carefully, not going all the way to the edge like in the actual print they are, but just doing some light fun doodles because I just think it looks fun. I could also write some, or draw, not write, some random circles in here, kind of like embellishments on a card or something like that. There we go. And then another one. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I'm not usually here this time. These days my regular time of going live is on Mondays, and I know it's at a really uncomfortable time for people in the United States. Unfortunately, that's just the best I can do right now. But I go live on Mondays at 9:30 a.m. my time, which happens to land straight in the middle of the night for people in the US. It's like 1:30 a.m. Central. So I know we've got some night owls in here as well, but for regular people, especially those who go to office work or something like that, it's probably not too good. Okay, that's our fifth page. We have a blank one here. How do we feel? Do we still want to work with this, or should I do something else? Speak up wherever you are. Let me know. While you do, I will just fussy cut a few of these out here. I would like to know what the audience thinks. Are you up for some more journaling page ideas? Is there something specific you would like to see? Keep going, okay. Yay, Pam. Let's see, I know I'm the world's slowest fussy cutter, but I just wanted to give people some time to answer and speak up. There we go. So, what shall we do for our next page? I have done some collaging. Maybe I'll do a quick flip of what we've made so far, because I know people have been joining in the middle of the live, so they might not have seen everything I've made. And if you are joining just now, this is my new kit called Cozy Autumn Mix that I'm working with. It has 42 pages and it's available in both A4 and letter size. It's up on my coffee shop and the links are in the description box of this video. But here's the first page. I think this would actually be perfect for even the cover. Obviously, this is just a signature. I could make this like a super simple small journal too. But yeah, here is the first spread. I simply folded one of the tags in half for a hidden journal spot. It goes into here. Then I have a journal card, really simple. Could decorate that if you wanted to, of course. A little bit sturdier tag that I topped or backed with some coffee dyed paper. Small journal card. These edges really don't like me or like it when I push them onto the pockets, but I can always hide it with some ink. There we go. Thank you, Pam, for the link. Here is my little collage. I also added some decoration here. There we go. And then there's this spread with a bigger journal card made out of a cereal box. Then belly band with some collaged pieces. And also another arrangement right here. And this page also has tons of golden details. So, next, I think I'm going to just cover this page with, well, a piece of paper. Again, I think I'll use this one. That's because I don't have the energy to take out my stamps or find a suitable stencil right now. So I'm just going to go with something simple. Hey Shay, thank you, thank you. Nice to see you here. I'll just trim off the white border. Let's start with that one. Once again, it doesn't like the thin paper that I'm using, or semi-thin. And I want this to be 10 centimeters, which is about, or a little bit less than 4 inches. Making, yeah, again, making it just a bit smaller than my page. I'm trying to push my blade against the edge of the trimmer when I can remember, so the cut will be cleaner that way. Oh, nice. Kati is saying I can do whatever I want as long as I don't stop yet. Okay, I'll keep going. I'll keep going. Birthtober. That's a new one. I hadn't heard that one before. I feel like, well, it's nice that there are so many events going on these days, but it's also impossible to keep up. Like, I feel like wherever you look, there's an event or a collaboration or whatever going on. And don't get me wrong, it's awesome. I love it. But it's also a bit overwhelming. Like, which one to follow, where to go, what to look. So, but it's definitely fun. I love it, and it brings people together. You meet new people through those events, so I'm not complaining at all. There we go. Oops, that is not a spread. Better keep the pages the way they're supposed to be, or you get some nasty surprises along the way. Okay. Do you mean Birdtober fits journaling better than Inktober? Yeah, I love birds. I made a whole journal just not too long ago with birds. They're fabulous. This is too long. How did that happen? Oh yeah, I made it. Never mind. Let's make it smaller. Yes, Inktober is probably a lot more drawing based. I could not save my life, or I couldn't draw to save my life. I have no drawing skills. I mean, I can doodle veins of the leaves or something like that, but that's it. Follow the circles. Okay, so once again, because my page is not as wide as it probably should be, I won't have much of a border here, but that's perfectly fine. And this is just, like I said earlier, I know I'm repeating myself. Don't worry, it's not Alzheimer's quite yet. I think junk journaling and card making are really close in some ways. Like, you could pretty much take any of the pages I've made today and turn it into a card sketch. Even if you don't have this particular kit, you could use your own stash. Like, whenever I use something like this rectangle here, you could just cut a rectangle out of paper, whatever you happen to have. So, or for this one, you could simply take a piece of cardstock, lay it on your card base, then put a panel of this shape on it, and then put some sort of a smaller piece on top to go across the page or the card. So depends how you look on things. That's too dark. I can't even talk anymore. I like this, but it gets lost a bit. I wonder if I will ever find a home for this. Plus, I'm always almost used. I mean, let's start over. I have almost used all of my journal cards already in this first few pages. That's just because I love them. Maybe I won't use that though. Maybe I'll take a look at all the things I have in here. Let's clean up while I'm at it. I don't know about you, but I feel like it's sometimes a little bit difficult to get things done if you are in the middle of a complete chaos. So it's good to take just a moment to reassemble things. There we go. That's a bit better. Maybe just fix my posture a little bit. I have some tags in here that I have not used at all. Let's take these lovely piles out so that I can actually remember to use those. I have some more pockets. I can't remember where were these wide enough for the tags. I don't think they are. I should definitely make a freebie. Oh, so and so. If you add just the tiniest bit of glue to the edges, they might be. And actually, because I made just flat pockets for this kit. I didn't make any that had hinges on them, but there is a way to go around that, which is by building your own hinges. So let's just, I'm simply taking a piece of paper and folding it in half. Then I'm doing the same thing again after cutting the first one out, obviously. There we go. It's like, I would say the whole piece is 1/2 inch wide and maybe 1/4 inch when it's folded. Well, that's how the mat would go, but I obviously didn't measure. I just went with what felt good. I need a third one for the bottom. It needs to be a bit shorter. You'll soon see why. There we go. Then let's pick a pocket. That sounded funny. I think that one. The black one is fun too. I think I might use it for the next page, but we'll see. Okay, let's work with this. First of all, I don't want to go over that curved piece of the pocket, but it's fine. I will simply cut it where the edge is. Actually, let's put it that way. There's the, I don't want to get glue on my page. So yeah, I'm just going to glue the hinge in here or on here, straight to the edge of my pocket. There we go. It shows maybe a little bit, but it's coffee dyed paper and I'm going to ink it, so it won't make much of a difference. Then I'm just going to take my snips. There we go. And that's it. You won't really see it. And then I'm going to be able to hinge it or put it on the page by using this. I will soon show you how. Sorry, that was my stomach. It thinks it's dinner time, and I disagree. Um, Debbie is saying that she has used card sketches to collage art bags when she was stuck for a new idea. So that's, if your mojo is gone, you can always take some card sketches or layout ideas for scrapbooking pages. That's another option. And use those for ideas on your journal pages. So it's fun. There we go. Then I don't really want to overlap. This is actually pretty much the perfect size. I will cut it just a tiny bit smaller. So if this would be the length of the bottom, like from side to side, and not from this side to this side like it is right now, there would be a lot of bulk. It's possible to do that way. And when I put it down like this, there will be small holes on both sides in the bottom of the pocket. I could have also left these side ones shorter, like cut them right there, and then have this piece go from side to side. But honestly, I don't think having a small gap like that in the pocket right here is going to matter. It's not like the tack is going to slip through of a hole that small. So there we go. And the reason why I'm building up these tiny hinges here is because hold on, I have to focus on gluing this down. Is because if I would have just added small threads or beads of glue here on the sides of the tack without the hinges, it takes off some of the room. Or, I mean, you can't put something as wide as this pocket inside the pocket if it's glued down. Does that make any sense? Well, you probably, I know we have tons of really seasoned journalers in here, so you probably know what I mean. But if we have any newbies, if I would just glue this down like this, I would lose some real estate on the sides. But now that I made the hinges, my really fancy hinges, that doesn't happen. I have the whole pocket or the width of the pocket to use for my tack or journal card or whatever I want to put in there. So there we go. That's why I built my little hinges here. I'm just going to lay this straight on the page here. And obviously doing a journal, especially the way I do them, which is decorating every single page, it takes a lot of time. So I think I'm going to work on this in a couple of lives, but I don't know. I think I'll do something on my own time as well, because after a while it gets a little repetitive, I think. And of course, I also know I have some card makers on my channel who want to see me make actual cards. Of course, I also have tons of junk journalers, and I want to make sure I provide something for everyone. I think I want 2 tags in there, but Do I have any that have sort of a brown? These ones are smaller. I have different sizes of tags. Once again, there are 5 pages of different tags in this kit. Do I want that, or there's the yellow option? Well, I'll just take a few of these out and see what I like and what I don't like. It's just a tag. You won't be able to see much of it, but still, those. I think I will just see what matches the page on the other side the best. I think this one, so that's an easy solution. This is too close to that one, so I'll leave it out. I like this. Then for the smaller tag, just a moment. I have to reorganize these. There we go. I think I want something different from the yellow, so that's why this didn't quite work. I think this might be fun, because I want to put 2 tags in here. Yeah, that works. I'm going with it. This would be nice too, but I think because piece of the tag would be showing, it would be too similar, the colors on these. So I want some contrast. That's it. Now, how I want to decorate this, that's a whole another. I think a sweater would be nice because it has some knitted pattern right there. Hey Frida, welcome, welcome. Maybe a hot drink and a knit sweater. Maybe a bigger sweater. I think that would be nice. I could even add like a word or something in there. Grateful heart. Does that work? Not quite. I don't know why, but I just feel like it doesn't work. How are you doing, Frida? How's today treating you? And how is everyone else doing? I realized I have not asked. Shame on me. How is Friday going for everyone? I like the sweater weather, but it's too big, I think. I could always put it on the next page if I simply use that for decorating the second one. Yeah, I think that goes there. But then do I really need another word or sentiment in there? I don't think I do. But I want to put something in there. I can feel sad that I made the butterflies so big on this kit. Well, if I would print them smaller, that would be like the perfect solution. But right now I only have the big ones. There's 1 or 2 smaller ones, but I feel like they're flying towards the wrong way. It could be a bigger butterfly too, although it would get a bit hidden behind the tags like that. I feel like it's too overwhelming. Probably not going to use that. Let's see. Oh yeah, I'm always happy to come back home whenever I go outside my home. I just find it extremely overwhelming. Yay, April. Welcome, welcome. You are not late. Um, I'm still going to keep going. That's too big too. I want something smaller. Come on. I really thought that I made most of the things in this kit quite small. But now that I'm looking at it, I really didn't. I guess it all depends on the perspective. And for the people on the back and for the people coming in. Now, this is my newest kit called Cozy Autumn Mix. It's available in my coffee shop, and there is a link down in the description box if you feel like you want to go shopping. No pressure though. It's available in both A4 and letter size. Yes. Oh my goodness, Frida, that's nice. That is so nice. Oh, yeah, you were talking about me. I'm kids free tonight. So I think, well, the kids will be back later on today. So unfortunately, I can't go on all night, but I will be here for, I would say, an hour more. Unless, that is, unless my stomach starts to be a complete annoyance. And by that, I mean growling because I haven't been feeding my tummy. Then I might have to stop earlier, but I think it should be fine as long as we don't talk about food. And it's funny, it doesn't really matter. At some point, every live will turn out to be about food. There we go. I'm just going to put it there. I'll take a sip of water now and look at the chat. Bam has only been the best moderator ever today. Thank you. And thanks for putting up um, 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 April's channel. There we go. I think I didn't glue my first leaf quite where I wanted it. It's off a bit, so now I'm wondering if I would have a better solution. I feel like these are too big. Yeah, no, yes, maybe. I don't know. Let's see, what else do I have here that gets too lost on the green surface. Of course, I could use another one of these. Not a bad solution at all. I could use, that's actually quite nice. Let's explore the option of using that or something similar, because I do have some tags. I don't know what happened there. It wasn't that muddy. Well, it is muddy now. It's sometimes difficult because I do all the designing and everything else for my kids on my phone screen, which is obviously quite small. So sometimes I won't notice some issues before I'm actually using the kit. Obviously, I print it out and I try to screen all the possible mistakes that I've made. But sometimes there are things that I miss, even then. Only when I go and cut them out is when I see some minor things that I maybe would have made fixed if I noticed them before, but it's not usually nothing too crucial. So I'm just using because it has these concave corners, I'm using my hole punch thingy to get them so that I don't have to cut them, because I feel like that's the most difficult shape to fussy cut. I don't know why, but for me it just is. I guess because I'm right-handed and I always cut this way, I can't really see where I'm supposed to be cutting or something like that. Let's see. It's kind of too big, kind of not. I think I'll use it. Actually, I actually like it sideways or like that, how it landed, but I think I'm going to put it straight. I feel like it might still need like a small leaf or something, we'll see. April and I often hang out in the mornings. There's a lovely lady from Lori's Little Bit of Crafting. She's called Lori. She makes Stampin' Up cards. We hang out in there. So if you are interested in card making, definitely go check her out too. And April has her own channel, which is Mama Choo Crafting on the Back 40. Definitely worth checking out as well. Hey Dawn, you made it. Thank you, thank you. I was saying earlier that I hate to overlap people. Like people have regular lifetimes or times when they go live. Like Dawn was doing a live with T from Not Afraid of Color. But it was just too good of a chance not to take when I learned that my family was outside the house for tonight. Because, yeah, like I said, I have to do my regular lives on Mondays in my morning time when the kids are out the door and so on. So, when it's actually quiet in here. So that's why it's such a rare occasion for me to be on. And obviously, yeah, YouTube is full of lives, so you're always going to overlap something, but you don't want to do it for your friends. That's not ideal. Oops. And thanks for throwing in Dawn's channel as well. This needs a little bit something. I fussy got it out already though, but this needs ink. Let's handle that side first and then go to the right. There we go. I think I want the sweater to go like that, not perfectly straight. Of course, now that I look at it, I'm not sure. I think I will put it straight because somehow it looks like a floating shirt when it's straight. And for some reason, I quite enjoy that. Kind of like building a scene here. Yeah, sometimes it happens. Usually, well, obviously